So. That's right.
Wait for you to come up and sit down.
There's the app.
Wow.
Second to merit. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Take care. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
No one
Take care. Yeah.
I did. It's cheap speed. All right, further over late. On board with these drives, the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Oh, Madam Treasurer, you just call the roll.
Council President Rex Heidi.
Here.
Council Vice President Mike Olskey.
Here.
Councilmember Joe Seeker.
Here.
Councilmember Ed Loud.
Here.
Councilmember Anna Pete. Here.
All right, consider general claims register, everyone had a chance to review it. Are there any questions? I'll entertain a motion.
Make motion accept,
Second. I have a motion and a second, any additional discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Opposed? Okay, by the ayes have it. Citizen comments. Citizens? All right, that was quiet, all right. Staff reports, Suzanne.
I believe last meeting, I'm not really certain. I think I mentioned that we did put an offer for employment to an officer, so hopefully we'll have them starting soon, put them in front of the Board of Police Commissioner the 28th for approval, so hopefully that'll be working out and we'll be on the road to one position being filled, still seeking another applicant for the second opening. I know there's been a lot of activity across the street. We're trying to minimize that and doing different details to handle that effectively. Pretty much all I can say about that. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to ask or answer them as.
You have any questions, Chief? No? Ben? Thank you.
All right, perfect. It's easy, make it easy. Apologize, you guys only have partial report from me. That's what I did before stepping away from my desk last week and then I'm finishing. So I'll correct that, send an updated one out. Speaking of issues across the street, been working to prepare, discussing with chief and public safety nuisance ordinance, have to send over to Jewel Christine to look at, make sure it's all kosher legally, to move from there, but that would help us address some of the issues from a business standpoint. And then I had lunch with Todd Rokita, the Attorney General, this afternoon. He's going to assign a Deputy Attorney General to come in and do some work with us on the departments. Not sure where that will go yet, but he's very interested in helping. Those are kind of the big things in this town, but we'll let Chief in.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ben. Mrs. Adams, long time no see, how are you doing today?
You're good. Mary Atkins with Westler Engineering, and we've been working, this is Casey Marley, she's the project manager for the stormwater project. So we've been working with the stormwater board and reporting to them and progress of the project, and Casey's gonna explain that to you, so.
Yeah, so the 2024 stormwater improvements project includes, I think it's 7 to 8 different project areas throughout Cumberland to address some drainage issues that have been identified and studied for quite a few years now. So to give an update on that project, we are hoping to get a contract or a construction schedule from the contractor to notify us when they plan to start, but we anticipate that being soon, as the utility conflicts that kind of delayed the project, the gas has moved out of the way, and the water has been reduced to one of the project areas, 1 or 2 of the project areas. So there are areas where they are going to be able to start construction and,
You know whether we're starting at first?
I do not.
We're asking them for a construction schedule. When they originally did the project, they thought they could come in and mobilize funds, get everything done. And so there's been some utility relocation of citizens that's kind of delayed their start. Although there are areas where they could start, but we're trying to give them a little bit of grace, let them do the one-time mobilization if possible, so.
You else have any questions? Thank you so much. Thank you. Old business, Ms. Ellis. Consideration of ordinance 2025-12, amending the ordinance for AAA annexation.
Thank you. This was introduced at your last meeting. This ordinance is amending our original annexation ordinance. There was an error with the legal description. This corrects that. We are recommending approval this evening. Happy to answer any questions.
Change from the other one.
Yeah, it's just the legal description. We accidentally included some land that was not intended to be.
Any questions regarding the amended annexation? Okay,
I make a motion that we approve 2025-14, amending 2025-12. Oh, second.
motion second, additional discussion. All those in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Thank you, Ms. Owens, appreciate it. New business, Ms. Wilson. Introduction of traffic, calming technical. Utilization policy. Woo. Big word.
The tactical urban. I was gonna say this.
Oh, all right, let's do that.
This is not.
Oh, you're out. See, she's giving us five different shit.
So yes, if you remember a few years ago, we reached out to Help by Design when we were taking a lot of complaints about speeding drivers in neighborhoods, and especially those who were aggressive with speed bumps. But we didn't think that speed bumps were always answering to these questions, these issues. I know that Ben said you really have a lot of data back in the communication showing that they aren't always the answer. So we reached out to Help by Design and asked them to help us put together a policy to help when people do come to ask for these types of things, that we have some sort of procedure for them to go through. And we also asked them to put together a pilot project, which would be the Valley Brook Drive. They would not have any pedestrian facilities and they're on that road. And we want to make sure that those residents can access their road safely. And Taylor here today to go over more of the policy. And
Thanks, Caitlin. Good evening. So I'm Taylor Butterstein. I'm the Director of Healthy Communities for Health by Design. We're a nonprofit based in Indianapolis, but do work around the state of Indiana. So really quickly, this is just a brief on who Help by Design is, what we do. So we really work at the intersection of public health and the built environment. So we're always working with communities that have an interest in improving or enhancing their built environment. So, you know, their sidewalks, their streets. Looks like we're on a timer. Oops. That might be my bad. But yeah, you can see right there just a few of the objectives that we have in our work. So we advocate for policy change. So you can think of like complete streets being a concept that Help by Design advocates for around the state and communities. healthier and more connected communities through walking, biking, safe routes to school, those kinds of activities. Next slide, please. And then here I just brought together kind of a collection of images that get to what tactical urbanism is. And so I included a definition here. So tactical urbanism describes a variety of citizen-led projects that quickly and cheaply demonstrate how urban ways can be reimagined to meet new needs. And so here, just in these collection of photos, here you can see on the left side, that's what we would call an advisory bike or pedestrian lane. So it's basically just taking that extra lane that maybe doesn't need to be there any longer in that community and sort of demarcating it, including bollards and other safety mechanisms to actually create a space for people to walk and bike that's separate from motorized traffic. So that's one example. Curb extensions, that picture there at the top is was actually, I think, back in 2019, right before the red line opened. So that's near Shelby Street, or the Shelby Library Branch at Garfield Park. And you can kind of see, basically, it's just painting, extending the curb outward to give more buffer for people who are potentially crossing the street or walking along the street. And then there also to the right, there's a pop-up traffic circle that's actually in the city of South Bend. They work with a larger national organization called Smart Growth America to implement a series of little mini pop-up traffic circles to test how driver behavior changed in the neighborhood with those installed. And so those were temporary. They were taken down after so many weeks or a couple months, I think, and they were able to evaluate the change in speed limits or change in speeds that drivers were going, the number of, people cutting through the neighborhood, that sort of thing. And then on the bottom there is just an example of sort of what we call like a placemaking type project. So instead of just another extra space for vehicles to park along the street, this neighborhood in Fort Wayne decided to create a space dedicated for bike parking. And so on the other side of that picture is an ice cream shop. And so they were getting a lot of people or a lot of traffic there that wasn't just people driving. And so they were able to do a little pop-up bike parking there in the corner. Next slide, please. Okay, I'm not gonna walk through this because I can tell you guys you know what you're doing and you're getting things done. So I'm gonna go quickly through this, just highlighting some benefits of tactical urbanism. So broadly speaking, tactical urbanism projects are really great at engaging the community and allowing the community to kind of take a leadership role in shaping what their streets look like for their community. And so it's kind of serves, you can kind of think of it as like a block party in a way. It sort of functions that way. You can see some pictures there from some local events that Help by Design has helped participate in. And you can see it's kind of a festive atmosphere. There's usually some food and for volunteers, and it's really great going out and painting like murals. You can see down there is actually railroad ties painted on a sidewalk near the Beaumont Trail, just to kind of emphasize its history as a rail corridor. So you can also see that through this, there's a way to promote the community. There's all sorts of different things. People have created murals out of like in the IPS school, their mascot being a bee, they painted a bee mural on the street. So there's all sorts of creative ways to sort of emphasize the uniqueness of your community or your neighborhood through tactical urbanism. And then of course the enhanced safety aspect of it. So traffic calming by definition is we're wanting to slow the speeds of traffic so that it's safer for people to walk or bike. And so through that, there's a whole series of different materials that are listed in the policy that would be appropriate for tactical urbanism projects. So flexible linear posts, you see those a lot around town nowadays, but they're those kind of white stocky little flex posts that oftentimes get run over. But are cheap and easily replaced. And then along those lines, the rapid deployment. So by allowing the community to sort of brainstorm and come up and with the volunteer time and expertise, the city's more able to stretch their dollars further, stretch their, capacity of internal staff further, by depending on community members who, hopefully know their community best and will be able to, put together a project that would pass the approvals and permitting by, staff. And so, I think that's that on that one, so you can go to the next slide. And then just, these are highlights of just considerations included in the policy that I wanted to just pull out. Peer review of similar policies, we looked at the city of Fort Wayne being kind of a mid-sized city to see how their policy functions. We also looked at the town of Avon to see what a town, a smaller kind of suburban, similar context to Cumberland, see how they put together a technical organism policy. And then we, of course, looked at Indianapolis Marion County's policy, which was passed in 2022, just to ensure that we were consistent across all definitions of the terms we were using. There's a lot of terms and a lot of acronyms, so we wanted to make sure that everything was consistent across the board. Climate and seasons, it's probably pretty obvious, but we don't want to put obstructions in the roadway during the winter time when there's snow clearing or snow plowing. So aligned with the city of Indianapolis policy, actually, I think theirs is May through October. Cumberland's is April through October. So warm weather months, you can think of it again as the best block party kind of weather is exactly what you want for a technical organism project. And then adherence to road safety, obviously, again, we don't want anyone necessarily going rogue and, putting planters out in the middle of their street one night. And so what this policy does is start to outline, here are the ways you go about something like that, and here are the proper approvals to do that. And that way we're hopefully getting ahead of people who are maybe a little more gung-ho and wanting to, do what some other people might call guerrilla urbanism, which is kind of in the dark of night. So we don't want that to happen. So that's what this policy helps do, is sort of make that explicit. And then monitoring and evaluation is really important. So for these projects to really, I would say, be most impactful, we stress monitoring and evaluation because we want to see the data of what that change is doing to the street or the roadway. And then with that data, we're able to show, okay, when we took that extra lane away, we saw speeds drop, 5 or 6 miles per hour. And that's good, we want to get towards those goals. And so it's all contextual, it's all going to change depending on the street or the width of the street, the environment, if it's a residential neighborhood versus a commercial area. But all of that is spelled out in the policy. Next slide. And that's it for me. I try to go quickly to keep you all on time, but yeah, my email is there, and I'm also happy to answer any questions you might have.
Have you ever talked about those?
I'm sorry.
Have you already talked to the Gallagher folks about the project?
Yes, we actually engaged with them last year. Did a site visit, had a couple of public meetings with them just to kind of gather input on what their ideas were. And sort of settled on a concept, and we shared that with internal staff, but yeah, I think we're gonna see where things lie as far as time, and now we're kind of coming back up on fall and winter season, but yeah, we've connected with them and had good conversations.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Anybody have any questions? Thank you so much. Appreciate your time, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
was gonna say, the next step to that is, they have the policy drafted. Caitlin, do they have, does the council have the draft policy?
In the,
Okay, so. We'll probably talk to you guys a little bit more individually on that, but the thing would be to bring an ordinance to codify that into the public works code process when somebody brings request for speed bumps or traffic calming, slowing, it creates a formal process for them. So whether that lands in speed bumps or that, or it was, some sort of, it can still be any of this. It's a formal process for them. I know Everett is gotten some things for the drive project. Why some people, and I think that project will be put out this fall, but we need to meet with Taylor a little bit, because I think the neighborhood wants to do more of the permanent fixes versus just doing the demo, and if I drive straight to like some permanent striking versus temporary striking.
Any other new business? Anything else on the agenda? Okay. Council comments?
We are working on striping the trail. Okay, awesome.
Thank you. Thank you.
David.
Yeah, so, I'll ask that the council possibly sit on this, we've got to continue on the hearing itself, trying to work something else out. We have to happen. So.
Joseph? Okay. Anything for the good of the order before I close the day? If I look so wrong, oh yeah, BB and community day, it's a Saturday, right? Community day is 3 to 5, and BBB is 5 to 9.
3:30 to 5:30.
Those community is 3:30 to 5. Okay. The community day is, or BBB is what, 5:30 to 9:30, or 5 to 9? So we're gonna have a little overlap. Okay. That's fine. Maybe it's supposed to catch it late, it's kind of like, yeah, it's come a little bit later, catch it late, so that's good. All right. Anybody else? Take a motion?
You can do that. I was just gonna see if you wanted me to talk about the work session thing or future agenda items. And you guys know we were supposed to have a work session this evening. Adam Stone had some family things come up, pretty serious stuff. So he wanted to be able to be here in person tonight. That was to go through your debt reserve policies, like rainy day fund policies, debt limit policies and all those things. So we're going to have to reschedule that. Because you guys did advertise and haven't had a chance to advertise the cancellation, we'll still have to adjourn the meeting, probably open work session, work session. So, right?
That's the technical factor.
Okay, so. Thank you.
Okay. We can do that. Take a motion to adjourn the council meeting.
Move. Second.
We want to open the work session. Close the work session. Have a nice evening. Take care, sir. Anything we can do or clear?
So he's gonna privilege.
This is Cheyenne.
Okay, I thought you looked familiar, that's why we, yeah.
I'm on the stormwater board, I just want to listen in.
Oh, no problem, anytime, please come. Mondays and Wednesdays at 7. Every other. Take care. Oh, sir, Wednesdays, everyone, don't come all guys. It'll be quiet on Mondays, though, too. Like, it's a lot.